Good morning, guys. It's MasterHutch with MasterHutch Gaming here. Welcome to the Game of Life, the survival series. I wanted to say that I apologize right now that it's a little late in the afternoon. I kept trying to get the video to upload last night, and it was taking forever to do. I'm watching a couple of lizards play around over there. Don't mind me. They're just kind of cute. Today I definitely wanted to go show you the Beautyberry bush before it stops with its beautiful berries, I guess is a pretty good way of putting it. Even the scientific name for it is literally beautyberry fruit. It's beautyberry or beautiful fruit. Which is really cool, and in a little bit you'll see why. But I also wanted to, my video had gotten cut short yesterday because I didn't have much space on my phone, so I ended up deleting a lot of crap that used to be on there. And I'm loading my tobacco right now. I haven't had a smoke. I barely had any last night or anything either. I've been working on cutting down because I don't know when the next time I'm going to be able to get a bag of tobacco is. I don't know if you can see this little thing. There she goes. Let me see if I can bring her a little better into focus. No? See that? It's a bean. It's a magical bean. A very, very magical bean. It grows a vine. Kind of like a beanstalk, I guess you could call it. Don't ever eat it. Don't ever, ever, ever eat it. You have a very slim chance of surviving if you just swallow it. But if you crush that and your body digests this, you are going to die. Going to die. Me and my friend were looking up some of the things that are digestible around here so that we can find the good food and the not good food. And I was like, dude, that looks so bad. That looks like dangerous. It's like telling you to eat me. And something like that, usually you don't eat. The Beautyberry is one of the very few things. But this one, yeah, this one, you don't eat. You do not eat. Don't eat it. Don't eat. Think about eating it. This is how it grows. Don't eat it, guys. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. It's a quick way out. Let me just put it that way. It's probably quicker than a cyanide pill would be. I was going to show that in a different part of a video, like maybe as a ending part to showing the Beautyberry. But I think I'm going to cut the video off here and bring us all down to the Beautyberry. Since I'm not going to town today, I can make the walk down that way and come back up this way. My knee is all jacked. I don't know if you can see or not. I had a surgery. It didn't go well. I mean, you can kind of tell that it's a little discolored and bruised and stuff because I've been doing stuff on it every single day, and it hurts and it sucks. Gotta make do. Also, I have a bad shoulder, so I do have some issues here and there with a lot of things. That's why my friends are coming by and helping me with like digging the trench. Now that it's initially dug, maintaining it is a lot easier. I can just quickly just use even if it's just a stick or my hand, I can just quickly revitalize it, I guess is a good way of putting that. Beautiful sounds. I believe that's the cicada. A very interesting creature. A very, very interesting creature. I have not seen the racer today, so I'm guessing he made his way off. He was like, this is a dangerous place. Yeah, sure, it was safe from the weather for the night, but yeah, that big thing that came out afterwards, not so good, not so good. Which was me, the big thing. I was the big thing that came out. I haven't seen him today. I did get a few comments on my video that I uploaded last night. A few of my friends watched it since they were still up. They said that I did really good, so I'm kind of excited about that. Hopefully I can keep doing well. I haven't gotten any bad reviews, which is really good all in its own. But let me go ahead and cut this off because it's like 7 minutes of just me smoking and talking, and I shared most of the information I think I needed to share. See, I got my trench going. I don't think I really got to fully show it. I'm going to clear it out a little bit later because it's a really cloudy day. It's kind of like dark. It's a little dark out, so and my knee is not feeling so great, so I'm pretty sure a rain is probably going to come. There's a lot of pressure in the air. I'm like a walking, talking, breathing barometer, which is pretty cool in its own aspect, but it sucks. It really sucks. When it has all this pressure, it means I'm limited to maybe 1 or 2 tasks for the day, and then my body's too exhausted to really do much else for the day. Especially if I'm going to be doing this walk. That's going to put a lot of extra strain on my knee. So I'm going to be probably resting the rest of the day after I make that walk, because I've got to go down the hill and then back up the hill. And it's kind of steep, not exactly very steep, but it's enough that my knee definitely notices. So let me go ahead and cut the video off here, and I will pick back up when I get down there. Alright, sorry, just make sure it's recording. It's really bright out. I made it here, and this is the Beautyberry. It's all of those. All of those. And they come up. It's starting to dry out really, really bad. But it makes these awesome clusters. It looks like maybe this tree is starting to hurt it a little bit. Or maybe these ones are the ones that are getting too much sun, because the one within the tree is actually looking a little healthier than the one that's not in the tree. Also, I think if I tame it a little bit by trimming it back, it will help it develop a lot better, because it only makes new growth. It only makes these on its new growth. That's why you see a lot of that looks extremely dead, because it doesn't make new growth. Yeah, that's pretty dead. It's pretty dead. But if you look, you follow what looks really dead, still it has some living growth off of it. So it comes back every year. It's not as vibrant today. I don't know why. It was very beautiful, very vibrant the other day. Oh, they're nice and ready too. They claim that they're a little bitter, but also flavorless. I don't really find any real bitterness to it. Look at that beauty. This is one of the things about why they're called beautyberries, because they attract butterflies, they attract birds, all sorts of fun stuff. Ooh, I almost stepped in that. I already knew it was there, and I almost stepped in it anyway. This could be interesting. Look at this bee. He's like hovering over that ant nest. No, I think he's just, no, yeah, he's deciding to leave now. He's going over that way. I wonder if he's looking for a quick meal to grab. Bring some protein back to his nest. Oh dear. They're crawling on me. Those are some bright red fire ants, so I really don't want to get bit by those because those are a real pain in the, well, I guess you could say the pain in the legs and the arms and the butt and anywhere else they decide to bite. Ha! Down that way is the swamp. I thought it was right through here where all the, but it's because it's kind of lush, but I was a little bit off. It's a little bit further down that way, and I have seen it already. I've even gone past it and seen what's on the other side. It's mostly flat land. I mean, mostly flat land through here. Compared to the uphill climb, I've got to go that way. Very steep gradient going up too. They still got more citrus down here. There's citrus over there. There's some citrus back behind that the dead bush over through that way. Well, it's not fully dead because there's life on the top of it, but beautiful forest right through there. And it's just a nice clearing. Nice guys. Oof. Sorry, my knee's hurting. I'm stumbling a little bit. Got wonderful pine. Some of it's dead. Some of it's not so much. I do have to be careful walking through here because they got these prickers. I've only found them in one spot, and it's in the same spot every time, and I know where that spot is, but who knows, there might be more. And they hurt like hail. They hurt like hail. They even stick to these plastic shoes I wear. That was the most surprising part. It's mostly flat ground through here, so I'm just going to do a little bit of walking, maybe some talking. It's just, I wanted to show you some of the beauty of this place. I mean, they got rows and rows and rows of pine tree. They got cacti. Blue jay up there. I don't know if you got to see him before he tucked into the tree. Beautiful blue jay. I need to be careful because it's, ooh, right through here where they're at. I found them. I know where they're all at. I bet these little shoots. They're all throughout here. So I may have to do some weeding of those because I do want to live with nature, but I don't want these little guys to survive. Never let them survive. Because they hurt. They hurt. Me and the guys, when we were exploring this, we had no idea those were there, and we all ended up having to stop and pick them all out of our legs and shoes, and oh, it was bad. That's why they're not as bad anymore, is because it's the first trip through. We picked them all up, all the ones that were at least ready, and more are starting to breed up and be ready to pick or stick. What they do is they stick to things, and those are the seed. And they carry their seed through animal transmission. They stick to you, and you bring them somewhere else. And then they grow again. And then they stick to you, and you bring them somewhere else. Or like a deer, or a fox, or whatever the heck goes through. I decided to come bring y'all to the little marsh that they've got down here. You can see it's starting to get more and more, all the way up into the water. The water goes all the way almost up to that tree line over that way. There's something moving over there. The water, the soil here is extremely damp. During big rains, this floods. Not fully floods, but it definitely rises up. It's got a nice basin to run off into. Which is also why I'm glad I'm uphill. It's very, very, very stagnant water, though. Not fully safe to drink. It might take a few filters to be able to be drinkable, potable. And we got this interesting moss. I think Xander said that they're called deer moss. I haven't looked too much into it to find out what it actually is. I mean, and it could actually be that. I'm not a full connoisseur on moss and fungi. I usually just avoid it all. Being as mold, my body is allergic to mold, penicillins, things like that. Anytime I've come into contact with any kind of mold and its spores and it gets in my lungs, I can no longer absorb oxygen through my lungs, and it sucks. I feel like I'm drowning, or I guess suffocating. Just suffocating. But it's really kind of pretty, even though it's just a stagnant, blech kind of water. Can you imagine having like some ducks out here? You can hear the birds off over on that side. But you can see the trees over top of those pines. And those trees are probably shorter than those pines, if that tells you how high that hill goes. Because pines get very tall. Pines get very, very tall. I mean, not quite as tall as like redwood and things like that. But this is not a redwood forest, so. I just find it magnificent how these are all just planted like this. And everything was abandoned. Everything. It's so shocking. I don't know. I'm gonna eventually make my way down here and start working all this land with my friend. And hopefully, sorry, some of those pickers got into my shoe. Start turning this all into usable. I mean, I guess because of this sitting water and the swamp that's that way, it's very hard for people to do much with the land. I mean, Disney's best thing he did with his land was his swamp land was he turned it into Disney. I'm not planning on doing anything like that. I want to live with nature, not tear down paradise and put up a parking lot. Oop, up, 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 up. Sorry, couldn't resist that one. Got a cute little pine growing right here. Look at that little one. Aww. And they got these things. They're kind of cute. I don't know what they are though. That's something I haven't really seen before. They got a lot of them. They're all throughout that. It's all in that weird looking grass that looks dead yet alive all at the same time. I was hoping while I was down here I could have grabbed a couple of cacti, but I forgot to bring my gear. Like, you know, something to hold the cacti. Because each one of those little nubs, they all have tiny little friggin' spines on them. Not just these big bastards. They got itty bitty little ones on each one of these. I was going to bring some last time, and I totally regret it because I'm still pulling some of those out of my fingers from it. And that was like a week and a half ago. These can be used for sewing if you ever run out of needles. And that's just the spine of a cacti. Plus when they get bigger, they can be used for water. This big beautiful oaks all grew right here. Right next to the water source. I'm just walking around it. Like I said, I got enough energy to do a little bit, but I definitely won't be able to make it to town today. I'm glad I got a lot of water with me right now in my tent. No, in my home. In my tent. Blah. Tent sounds temporary. And they got these cacti just growing everywhere, which is really interesting because cacti can't really take too much water. So it's been having me wonder how far this water goes anymore. Because this is dry as bone. But it's still all that sand I was telling you about. All that sand. I don't have my gloves on, so I don't want to just dig right into it. I've also heard that you can eat pine cone. I mean, it's probably not the best tasting, but it does have nutritions in it. If you think about it, it's a big seed, a very big seed. Probably a little crunchy. Definitely a little crunchy. Probably. Who are we kidding? That's definitely a little crunchy. I'm just making sure it is recording still. Okay, I may have to take a break somewhere. My English just not doing so great with that storm. Yeah. Oh. Oh, damn it. I walked through that. Pissed them off. Hopefully they won't come this way. Yeah. Let me go ahead and pause the video while I take a break for a minute. And I can pick it back up when I make my trip back that way. Maybe. Maybe I'll just keep it off because I don't know anything else to discuss or talk about. Just look at that beauty. Oh, the sun's coming out just long enough for me to show off a beautiful shot of it. And that's, I did a circle around the little pond that they have here. Over on the other side of those pine trees is where I started. So I almost did a full 360 around her. Sounds like things are moving inside of it, so it's definitely got to be partly alive. I'm sorry that I got such a late start today. I was up extremely late last night trying to get that darn video to cooperate. I tried saving it 3 times after editing, and it decided just to crash the app. And not tell me that the app crashed. Usually, when an app crashes, it'll pop up a thing saying, oh, the app stopped working. And this one was like, nope, I'm not even going to bother telling you that. You're just going to have to find out for yourself. And finally I got it uploaded, and I'd sent it to a couple of friends. They were awake when I got it sent to them, so they were like, yeah, you did good, you did good. I was excited about it. This is my first time doing something like this. Gradually I've progressed from no audio to typing to talking, and now I'm doing this, and this is so nerve-wracking on me. I'm just watching the ants and seeing where they're going, because I don't want them to come this way, so I need to bail. I don't want to get bit. Those things are, they're not as feisty as the big bastards I'd seen a little bit ago, but ants are still feisty. Ants are very, very feisty. But yeah, so hopefully I can continue producing good videos, some nice informations. Hopefully show that it's possible to be out here and do all this without tearing down the paradise. That people can live amongst nature and survive. You don't have to tear it down. You don't have to move it out of your way. Some of me, don't get me wrong, some of it I'm going to have to move, like a lot of the fern that are around and behind my tent. I was going to make that into some farmland to grow some crops. But that's just putting a new plant there where an old plant was. It's not like I'm tearing it down and just tearing it down for the fun of it. I'm leaving up all these trees, and I've been looking how to regrow trees, because maybe we'll... Oh, sorry, guy. There was a spider living in that one. He's checking me out. Yeah, but maybe we'll take down a row of trees, replant it, and when it starts getting big, go for the next row or something, and that way we've continuously got a thing of wood to use, but still having the plants regrowing. There's just a bunch of plans going through, and a bunch of things that we can and can't do. Can't do as in, like, I don't want us to do it. Not can't as in it's not possible. But, yeah, he decided to crawl on my foot. I just wanted to knock him off for a second. It's one of the little jumpers, those hunters I was talking about. Oh, y'all didn't get to even pick up on those yesterday, so I should probably show y'all him. I forgot that it didn't work. The video had cut off. I was showing you my little friend, the jumping spider I let stay on my tent, because they're not much of a web hunter. They, I guess that's more of a sit and wait predator. But the jumping spider are an active hunter, like a wolf or a snake or things like that, where they stalk their prey, and then they pounce. And that makes him very good on my tent itself, because I don't have to worry about his web getting in my way. I don't have to worry about destroying his web every single time I come in and out of my tent or anything like that. I would like to have a couple more jumping spiders maybe on my tent, because all of the insects that like to get between my tent and the film I have on top, that waterproof barrier, he can actively go back and forth in there and pick them all off, get tons of food from that, keeping my insect levels down. Like I said yesterday, spiders I understand, yeah, they got 8 legs, it's creepy, blah, 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 it's scary, blah, 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 boo-hoo. But spiders, they're one of the most amazing things you will ever find. Their ability and their need, their necessity in the circle of life is more than our necessity. Like, if we all died off, they would still survive. Everything would still survive. But if spiders all died off, do you know how badly overrun the planet would be with insects and things that they eat, they actually devour? Um, and then that's where the lizards come in, is because they help with some of the insects, but they help with some of the spiders and things like that too. You know, it all has its place. Destroying it, destroying its land, destroying everything that they need to survive is slowly killing everything. It's destroying it. I mean, it's all in the word. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone, guys. These spiders, these lizards, these insects alone. Without these insects, nothing would be working. Nothing would be propagating. Nothing would be expanding. Because, like, birds help with the expansion of tree seeds and things like that, but so do insects. Insects pollinate. I mean, you hear about the bees going extinct and so worried about the pollination. Everything pollinates. Like, pollen rubs off on the butterfly and goes to the next plant too. You know, it's all needed. It's all needed. I haven't really found a full use of mosquito, but, you know, maybe eventually I'll find something. But if you think about it, the big mosquitoes, the males with the long legs, the ones that look like they're probably the most dangerous and scary ones, those ones eat insects. They don't bite. So I guess technically the males have their place, and the females need blood for the babies. So that's why they end up biting us and everything else with a bit of blood, just because their babies need it for survival. But the males, the mosquito hawk, no, that's what they call a dragonfly. Speaking of dragonfly, I don't know if you ever see a cute cat out there. They, those big ones, they eat insects. They're insect devourers. That's actually just the male mosquito. It's not a different breed, it's the male. And the female sucks your blood for the babies. And the babies grow in stagnant water like this, which is why I want to try to work on getting some preventative measures for insect bites. I don't want to kill them off. I don't. I just want to keep them away. Keep them at bay off of me. Because, like I said, it's all needed. It's all needed. I don't fully know why the female needs blood for the babies, why the babies couldn't survive off of it. But I guess if they grow in stagnant water, it would make a bit of sense, wouldn't it? My knees rested up a little bit. If they have to sit in stagnant water, then that means that there's not a lot of stuff surviving in there because there's not a lot of aeration in the water for things to breathe and survive. And therefore, that's probably why the female uses blood, because blood has all of the nutritions of whatever they just ate. Brings it back to the baby. Look how beautiful this cacti is. Cacti are some of my favorite plants. Some of my favorite. I got this interesting thing with this bell-shaped flower. And it's growing all over through here. No idea what that one is either. Like I said, I know a lot, but I don't know everything about everything. I'm working on it. I promise. I'm working on it. And as I find out, I'll definitely let you know. Oh, the last dandelion! Oh, a nice age joke. Sorry, guys. These ones don't have any green. Those greens are supposed to be full of nutrition. I was actually going to have a snack real quick. Those don't look very appetizing. This is all I can get off of the green. You can barely see it. I thought they were supposed to produce a bigger green than that. Beautiful flower. Look at that. Yeah. Love nature. We gotta be with it. And it's gotta be with us. If not, it's all going to end. Everything. Everything you know and love will be gone. Tear down one tree too many, you're no longer going to have oxygen. When you think about it, the atmosphere is dwindling away, not just because we're producing a lot of carbons, but you're tearing down every single friggin' forest you find. And when you do that, you're, say Mother Earth is in a body, and the trees would have to be considered a lung, because they produce the oxygen that helps the atmosphere stay sustainable. Well, every time you destroy a part of the lung, you destroy a part of the lung, you destroy a part of the lung, you're no longer able to breathe. Every single time you destroy a part of the lung, the body's no longer able to breathe. Why do you think it's happening faster and faster? Faster and faster. It's because you keep destroying the lungs. It's like you gave the planet COPD, and now you're continuing to almost give it fucking lung cancer. Excuse my language right there. I just said seal. I oh, so weird! I totally screwed that over though. This little dragonfly guy here, he was chasing down a bee, like that bee I showed you with the that was trying to hunt those ants. Oh, sorry, little guy. He keeps walking right where I'm about to step. It's beautiful down here. And tons of clearing, you know, so it's a forest up there and clearing down here. But yeah, like I was saying, every time you tear down more and more trees, you're putting more and more strain on your planet. I don't plan on tearing them down and not replacing them like every city I've seen. I mean, you could have all sorts of animals out here, farm animals, and they'd have good shade to live in, great grass to eat. See all that? Great grass to eat. And then you can use them for your proteins. Or you can tear down more forests, putting more pressure on the remaining trees, causing more chronic obstructive pulmonary disease on your own planet, and then wonder why your ozone layer is depleting, and wonder why the planet is going into global warming, and wonder why everything is starting to go to shit. Did you ever think about that? Probably not. I mean, look at this. It's fucking beautiful. I mean, even a tree, if you look at it, it looks like a goddamn lung. It's got the bronchioles and the tubes, and then the burst at the ends. Look at it. Look at it. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. That's a lung. And another lung. More lungs. That's how she breathes, guys. I'm telling you. You gotta quit tearing this stuff down. You gotta. Because, oh, that looks beautiful. Look at that. It's a nice little hangout spot. Because you're destroying your planet's own way to survive. And by destroying those lungs, you're destroying everything that lives within those lungs and lives on those lungs and lives around those lungs and helps keep those lungs up and going. You're pushing those creatures to a new spot that they don't know anything about anymore. So, you know, there's new stuff there. They're walking there like, oh, whoa, what is this planet? Can I even eat this? Some meat, you know, like, say there was a deer in a forest and they'd never seen those red and black beans I showed you earlier. Well, that deer is hungry. He's been looking for food for a while. And he sees that and he's just like, oh man, I'm hungry. I need some food. He snacks on one, dead. That's what happens when you take away something's home and you push it to somewhere else. It does no longer have any information. I mean, maybe some, but not a lot of information about what's going on around it. I mean, most creatures know everything about their own territory. Like I've been learning all the different things around here, finding all the different areas, knowing where I can forage for a little bit of extra food, or where I can come and sit and enjoy the shade for a little bit. When you've been on a land, even for a couple of weeks or even a week and a half like me, you start to know where all of your spots are. You start to know all of your paths. You start to know your safe spots to rest without having to worry of maybe a snake or a bear. Not that a bear is going to be out here, but yeah, you never know. And you got to be careful. You got to be cautious. You got to be understanding, and you got to stop tearing down their home, because pretty soon little spots like this are going to be all they've got left. These spots that humans don't really find usable. I mean, the Amazon is pumping out tons and tons of oxygen and is doing its best to sustain the planet, because everywhere else you've chopped down nearly every friggin' forest. Do you know how much burden that puts? I mean, could you imagine you living with one lung? Have one lung and try to survive. So the video cut off. I hadn't realized it was so bright. I don't have my brightness up so I don't burn up more battery. I'm in the shade. I'm at the other swamp that I was coming to. That's where I was walking to, and I was doing my little ramble rant. Beautiful place out here. Just so beautiful. I took another rest because it's quite a bit of a walk. I'm probably not going to do any filming on the way back home. It's a bit of a walk. I'm feeling tired. I don't feel like trying to think. Even right now, I'm just kind of struggling to even think. I should have brought a bit of water, but I don't have any light ways of carrying water with me just yet. I'm working on it. My knee is killing me. This storm is not doing so great. It's kind of pushing over, but the pressure stays behind for quite a bit. I've been sitting here for a minute watching the birds. I wanted to show you the cool little lake swamp thing. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful. Yeah. This is the kind of stuff that we tear down. This is the kind of stuff that we just throw away and ignore. Rich man buys it up and just lets it sit. It's just sitting here, doing nothing. Being itself, I suppose. Which is really nice, don't get me wrong. But this is all land that's been abandoned for a very long time. Quite a long time. But I'm glad to be able to know the laws and know what can and can't be done. And know that I can take over this land and take possession of this land which is really awesome. It's just a shame that I do still need to make some kind of income because nobody ever owns land. You just rent it from the government. Property taxes and stuff like that. You're still renting. You can claim you own it. Sure, you've only got that one rent payment that you pay to the government after that, but still rent payment. It's alright though. I think I can manage this. Yeah, and it's so beautiful, it's totally worth it. It's so beautiful. Alright guys, I've been taking a break for a while already now, so I'm gonna cut off the video here and start making my way back home. Y'all have a great day, great afternoon. I hope y'all enjoy my rant too. It's gonna be quite a long video for that one. So, sorry, when I hear things I kind of try to look and see if I can catch a glimpse of what it is. They're so exciting. It's so cool, just living here with nature. But, yeah, let me go ahead and let y'all go. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I can do more than just these informative videos, the more likes and subscribes and shares that I get, because I will then have a little bit of an income that will help me maybe make some devices, some of these awesome things in my brain that I've told people about, but nobody really likes to hear about it. They all like to just tell me that I'm crazy. So maybe one day it'll be nice to not be called crazy and show that